Captain Rhea Morgan stood at the command deck of the Valkyrie, her eyes fixed on the dark surface of Jupiter below. The ship hovered silently above the planet's swirling storms, hidden behind one of its many moons. "All systems green, Captain," said Lieutenant Kai, his voice calm but alert. "Training drones deployed. Stealth fields stable." Rhea nodded. "Begin the drill." In the vast space around them, 5 human warships uncloaked, speeding through a tight formation. They moved fast, faster than any ship built before. This was humanity's secret. Ships with quantum drives and cloaking shields, built in silence on Mars and Titan. Earth was under tech bans. The Galactic Empire said humans were too young to handle advanced space travel. But humans didn't wait for permission. They built their fleet in secret, trained in silence, and now they were ready. Or so Rhea hoped. She glanced at the screen. Everything looked normal, but her gut told her something was wrong. "Any contacts?" she asked. "Negative, Captain," Kai replied. "Just us, the moons and radiation." That's when the signal hit. A sharp ping. Then another. "Unidentified object approaching at high speed," said Ensign Mira from the sensor station. "It's not one of ours." Rhea's eyes narrowed. "Origin." Mira paused. "Not from this system. Pattern matches. Thaler Empire design." The bridge fell silent. The Thaler Empire hadn't entered human space in over 100 years. Earth was off limits, a forgotten corner of the galaxy. The Empire saw no value in it. Until now. Rhea spoke firmly. "Raise stealth fields. Recall the fleet. Get me visuals." On the main screen, a massive ship emerged from the black. Its sharp wings stretched like blades, glowing with blue energy. It was 3 times the size of the Valkyrie. "No doubt now," Kai said quietly. "That's a Thaler war cruiser." "What's it doing here?" Mira asked, her voice shaking. Rhea's voice was steady. "Looking for us." 30 minutes later, the rebel fleet was hidden again, cloaked behind moons and floating debris. Rhea gathered her top officers in the war room. "We've been found," she said. "I don't know how, but they're here." Dr. Sullis, the chief scientist, looked up. "It's possible they intercepted our test signals. The quantum drives, they leave a trail." "Then they know," Rhea said. "They know we have ships they thought we couldn't build." Silence followed. Lieutenant Kai broke it. "What do we do?" Rhea looked at them all. She saw fear, doubt, but under it fire. "We don't run," she said. "We don't hide. We delay them. We scatter, cloak, stay quiet, and we prepare for war." Her crew nodded, one by one. Rhea turned back to the window. Jupiter spun below, red storms swirling in silence. "They're coming," she whispered. "Let's show them what humans can do." The silence didn't last long. 2 Earth days after the Thaler ship appeared, the first attack came. Mars Colony Alpha went dark at 0400 hours. No warning, no distress call, just silence. Captain Rhea Morgan stared at the red icon flashing on the screen. One of their strongest bases gone. "Still no response from Mars?" she asked. Lieutenant Kai shook his head. "None. We lost all contact 5 minutes after the power spike. Same pattern as Thaler plasma strikes." Mira spoke from the sensor station. "Titan's defense grid just went active. Something's coming through Saturn's rings." Rhea didn't hesitate. "Raise all shields, sound battle stations. This is no longer a drill." On Titan, the rebel shipyard scrambled. Engineers and pilots rushed into bunkers as the sky cracked open. A Thaler destroyer descended through the haze, its engines humming with unnatural silence. It didn't speak. It didn't warn. It fired. Blue plasma rained down on the surface. Buildings shattered. Launch platforms exploded. A rebel freighter barely lifted off before the shockwave hit. Back on the Valkyrie, Rhea watched it all from the main screen, live feed from Titan's last satellite. Her jaw clenched. "Enough. Prepare the fleet. We strike back." Dr. Solis stepped forward from the corner of the bridge, her eyes tired and worried. We're not ready for a full assault. Our ships are faster, but their weapons are stronger. We don't need to win, Rhea said. Not yet. We just need to show them we're not afraid. 20 rebel ships, cloaked and silent, gathered near Saturn's outer orbit. The mission was simple: hit a Thaler patrol and vanish. Rhea led the charge. The ambush was fast, clean, brutal. Cloaked ships surrounded the Thaler patrol like wolves. Lasers cut engines before the enemy could react. One Thaler cruiser exploded. Another drifted, helpless. No human ships were lost. On the bridge of the Valkyrie, Rhea gave the order to disengage. Leave one of their ships intact, she said. Let them crawl home and report what they saw. Kai raised an eyebrow. You want them to know what we're capable of? Rhea nodded. I want them to be afraid. Later, in the quiet of the strategy room, Rhea met privately with Dr. Solis. We need to talk about my father, Rhea said. Solis hesitated. He's not dead. At least, I don't think so. Rhea leaned in. Explain. Solis sighed. 10 years ago, before the rebellion, he tested a wormhole generator. We didn't fully understand. He vanished. But a week ago we picked up strange readings, identical to the energy signature from his last mission. You think he made it through? I think he found something, Solis said. Something the Thaler are afraid of. Something that helped us build these ships. Rhea stood silent for a long time. Then she said, we find him, before the Empire does. The wreckage floated silently between the icy rocks of Saturn's rings. Bits of metal drifted slowly, catching sunlight in flickers. It had once been a Thaler cruiser. Now, it was just debris. But inside the twisted remains, something waited. Captain Rhea Morgan stood on the hangar deck of the Valkyrie in full gear, her helmet clipped at her side. A recovery shuttle was ready to launch. The wreckage was only hours old, left behind after the rebel fleet's ambush. Are you sure this is worth it? Lieutenant Kai asked. We need data, Rhea said. That ship may tell us why they came, or how they found us. Dr. Solis stepped beside her. And there's a chance they stored quantum traces, records of the energy they detected from our drives. Rhea nodded. Let's go. Inside the wreck, it was cold and dead. The walls were scorched, the lights flickering low. Rhea moved through narrow halls with 2 soldiers and Dr. Solis behind her. The crew had been evacuated or killed in the blast. Nothing moved. They reached the core chamber. There, Solis pointed to a cracked terminal. Help me power it. With effort, they connected a portable battery and brought the system online. The alien screen blinked to life. Strange symbols danced across it. Can you read it? Rhea asked. I've studied Thaler code, Solis said. Give me a moment. Her fingers worked the console carefully. Lines of code scrolled, then paused. Her eyes widened. This isn't a patrol log, she whispered. It's a sensor map. They were scanning for something that matches the quantum signature from your father's mission. Rhea stepped closer. He left that trail 10 years ago, Solis nodded. And they've been following it ever since. They only found us because our new ships triggered the same energy pattern. So they weren't looking for us, Rhea said. They were looking for him. Back on the Valkyrie, Rhea gathered her command team. Here's what we know, she began. The Empire is tracking a signature they think came from alien tech, possibly hidden somewhere in our system. My father found it. We used it to build the new fleet. Kai frowned. So what are they after now? They're afraid of what else we might unlock, Solis answered. If the ships we've built are just the beginning, imagine what they fear we might discover next. Mira turned from her screen. Incoming message. It's not local. It's encrypted. Old Earth code. Rhea leaned forward. Put it through. The voice was faint, distorted but clear enough to recognize. Rhea, this is Commander Elias Morgan. If you're hearing this, I'm alive. I've seen what they're hiding. The truth is bigger than we thought. Don't trust the outer colonies. They've been compromised. I'm heading for the edge of the system. Find me before they do. Static followed, then silence. Everyone on the bridge stared at Rhea. Kai spoke first. Your father's alive. Rhea nodded slowly. And he's running from something. Later that night, Rhea stood alone in her quarters, staring out at Saturn through the window. The planet spun quietly, unaware of the storm building around it. They thought we were asleep, she whispered. They thought we were small. She turned back toward the command deck, her eyes sharp. Now it begins. The rebel fleet drifted silently beyond Neptune's orbit, hiding in the cold dark. On the bridge of the Valkyrie, the mood was tense. Everyone knew the mission was risky. Captain Rhea Morgan stood in front of the main display, showing a large Thalor outpost floating in deep space. It was a fortress. Heavy shields, long-range cannons, and fighter patrols. Inside that fortress, her father was being held. Stealth systems are ready, Lieutenant Kai reported. But if we're spotted, we won't get a second chance. Rhea nodded. We go in fast and quiet. No mistakes. We get him out, and we disappear. Dr. Solis stepped forward. If the Empire breaks him, they could learn everything. About the tech. About us. We have to get to him first. An hour later, a small strike team launched in a stealth shuttle. Rhea led them. They moved in total silence, slipping through the Empire's sensors like ghosts. The Thalor outpost loomed ahead, metal towers covered in blinking lights. It rotated slowly, casting long shadows across the black sky. They found a docking port on the underside, unlocked and barely guarded. Too easy, Rhea whispered. Inside, the halls were cold and narrow. The alien walls pulsed with faint blue light. Following Solis's tracker, they moved quickly. Rhea's heart pounded as they reached the lower cells. A single figure sat behind the energy field. Older, bearded, worn down but still strong. Dad, she whispered. Elias Morgan stood up slowly, eyes wide. Rhea, she deactivated the shield. He stepped out, shocked. You came, he said. I had to, she replied. We don't have much time. As they escaped through the lower maintenance tunnels, Elias spoke quietly. They didn't capture me. I surrendered. Rhea stopped walking. What? Why? I had to see what they knew. The Thalor, they're afraid, not just of humans, of what lies beyond. Dr. Solis looked confused. What lies beyond? There's a signal, Elias explained. Old, ancient, buried near the edge of our system. Our new tech isn't human. It was left here, waiting. They think we've awakened it? Rhea asked. Elias nodded. And they're trying to stop it before it fully activates. The escape wasn't clean. As they reached the shuttle, alarms blared. Fighters launched. The Empire knew. Rhea and her father boarded just in time. As they blasted off, enemy ships chased them. On the Valkyrie, Kai shouted, "We have them on sensors. 5 enemy ships behind them. Prepare shields." Rhea's voice came through the comms. Brace for impact. The chase was fast and deadly. Explosions lit the black sky as rebel fighters joined the fight. The shuttle docked, but one of the rebel ships was lost in the battle. Once inside, Rhea walked her father to the command deck. The crew stared in awe. Elias looked around, impressed. "You've done well," he said. "But this is just the beginning." That night, Rhea, her father and Solis studied the signal he had found. It came from deep space beyond Pluto. It pulsed like a heartbeat, getting stronger. Rhea stared at the screen. "If they're afraid of us now," she said, "they haven't seen anything yet." Jupiter loomed ahead, its red storms swirling like living things. The Valkyrie hovered just beyond the planet's orbit, surrounded by the full rebel fleet. Every ship was powered, armed, and ready. Captain Rhea Morgan stood on the command deck, her father beside her. The battle they'd been preparing for was coming. The Empire was done hiding. "Enemy fleet approaching," Lieutenant Kai said. 17 Thaler warships. One of them, it's huge. The screen lit up with the outline of the enemy flagship. It was shaped like a blade, long and dark, 3 times larger than any ship Rhea had ever seen. At its core, a glowing weapon pulsed with power. "That's not just a ship," Dr. Solis said quietly. It's a planet killer. Rhea's jaw tightened. They want to end this in one strike. Destroy Earth, erase us. Elias Morgan stepped forward. Then we strike first, hit their weak spots. Use the speed, that's our advantage. The rebel fleet moved into position, splitting into small groups. Ships spread across Jupiter's orbit, hiding behind moons and debris fields. The plan was simple. Hit fast, hit hard, and vanish before the Empire could react. As the enemy ships entered the system, they fired first. Blue plasma bolts lit up the void, cutting through space like fire. One rebel ship took a direct hit and exploded, scattering metal and flame. Return fire, Rhea shouted. The Valkyrie spun around, unleashing a barrage of laser blasts. Dozens of ships lit up the sky. In the chaos, cloaked human ships darted between the Empire's lines, hitting engines and power cores. One Thaler cruiser broke apart, then another. Still, the flagship kept moving. Slow, steady, unstoppable. They're charging the main weapon, Mira reported. Target Earth. Rhea's eyes locked on the screen. We stop it, now. Her father Elias stepped forward. I'll take one of the old scout ships, the one with the unstable core. Rhea looked at him, confused. What are you saying? I'll fly it into their weapon system. It'll overload and take it out. No, Rhea said sharply. I just got you back. You don't have time to argue, he said softly. This is the only way you know it. Rhea didn't speak. Her eyes burned, but she nodded. Elias turned to go. Tell them we were never meant to be weak. The final moments happened fast. As the Empire's superweapon locked onto Earth, a small, fast ship broke from the rebel lines, silent, glowing, flying straight for the flagship. Alarms blared across the enemy ship, but it was too late. Elias Morgan's voice echoed in Rhea's earpiece. For Earth. Then the explosion came. Bright, violent, endless. The core of the Empire's weapon shattered, sending shockwaves through space. The flagship split in half. The rest of the Empire fleet turned and fled. The battle was over. The silence after the fight felt heavy. On the Valkyrie, Rhea sat alone in the war room. She stared at a small screen, playing an old recording of her father laughing. She closed her eyes. You saved us. Now we finish what you started. The war was over, but the scars remained. The rebel fleet returned to Earth orbit in silence. For the first time in generations, humans were no longer hiding. They had stood against the most powerful empire in the galaxy, and won. On the Valkyrie, Captain Rhea Morgan stood at the large window, watching Earth spin slowly below. Blue oceans, white clouds, a world that almost ended. Behind her the command deck was quiet. Most of the crew had gone to rest. The battles were done, but a new kind of work was just beginning. Solis walked in, holding a datapad. We've received messages, not just from Earth. Other worlds, alien colonies. Species the Empire kept silent. They're waking up, Rhea turned. They saw what we did. They want to join us, Solis said. Not in war, in freedom. Rhea nodded. Then we build something better, not another empire. A council, no thrones, no rulers, just voices. Solis smiled faintly. Your father would have liked that. Later, a small ceremony was held on the moon base. A memorial wall stood under the stars, carved with names, soldiers, scientists, civilians. And one name in the center, Commander Elias Morgan. Rhea stood there quietly, a single medal in her hand. She placed it beneath his name. He flew into the fire, she said softly, so the rest of us could breathe free. No speeches, no music, just the stars above. In the days that followed, new ships were launched, not for war, but for travel, for peace. Human engineers shared tech with alien scientists. Former enemy commanders sent letters of surrender and hope. The Valkyrie remained in orbit, no longer a warship, but a symbol. Inside, Rhea received the first transmission from a distant planet in a free voice. This is the colony of Lorix 5. We are no longer under Thaler control. We saw your light. We are ready. Rhea replied simply, "Welcome to the new sky." That night, she returned to the captain's chair. The stars stretched endlessly ahead. Kai stood beside her. "Where to next, Captain?" Rhea smiled, calm and sure. "Out there. To find more who are ready to rise, and to make sure no empire ever buries another voice again." The engines hummed softly. The ship turned toward the stars.